Welcome to C2K News, and this is the news where the Ecclesia rules. Tonight we're going to talk about a few things. Number one, we're going to talk about an article I found in the Epic Times. Let me pull it up on the screen for you here. So this article talks about U.S. meat prices could go highest level in generations. As a meat cutter, I can tell you a little bit here. I've actually seen a waning of beef prices. Recently went to a meeting concerning meat departments in our particular warehouse, which is in Nebraska, and I was assured that the levels of beef are going to be sufficient all the way through the fall, so not to be too concerned about the the price of beef. But chicken is a concern, and this article actually kind of goes into that a little bit, predicting that chicken, turkey, any kind of poultry could actually go up 8% or higher, which is historical as far as a percentage increase. And I've actually been having trouble getting poultry in. I actually just had to do a pre-order of poultry, of turkeys for Thanksgiving, to be assured that I would have a sufficient amount of turkeys for Thanksgiving. This is very early to be doing that, and so that is kind of interesting. Chicken, I'm having a hard time getting whole chickens. I haven't had problems getting any particular chicken parts, but other stores in my particular in my particular corporate structure have been having problems getting fresh thighs and sometimes even fresh drums. So there is a shortage in that area. I'm told by the warehouse that, for example, if they order 700 cases of a particular cut of poultry, in order to meet the demands of the stores that are in their warehouse system, that they actually only receive 100. So, it's going to be hard to meet the demand if they're not even getting the full fulfillment of what they're ordering from the manufacturers. So there's that, and it looks like pork prices are also set to increase soon. So far, I have not seen that. Pork prices here in the Midwest have remained pretty level. I'm looking at this picture here, and it looks like there's boneless pork loin chops for $9.99 a pound. That I've not seen anything like that. I've got mine sitting out in the case right now at $2.99 a pound. $2.99 a pound. That's how I've got my family pack boneless pork loin chops. So, it's going to give and take here and there depending on what region that you're in and what warehouse system that you're taking from. Our warehouse has been pretty fair about getting things to us. Now, I am also the frozen food manager at the store that I'm at, and I can tell you that the frozen food, there is a problem. There's a lot of things that I just cannot get. Pot pies are a particular issue. Sometimes pies, like Marie Collander's, other companies, I'm having a real hard time getting. Stouffer's, like lasagnas and chicken Alfredos and stuff like that. I'm having a real hard time getting those kind of things. French fries, different varieties of French fries are hit and miss. you'll hit it this time, then you won't get them for a while. So potatoes are a real issue. My wife is the produce manager at the store, and she hasn't really seen anything hit her as far as not being able to get it. But do your best to prepare for some increases in the meat area. Something that you can do is find out who raises meat around you. Get in contact with them, start to get to know them. It's very possible that those people may have access to more than they need. I also want to say this: meat processors, butchers, those who actually process the meat. We're not. I work in a grocery store. We get it already, in pieces, and then I cut it down from there. But actual processors, they're booked for pretty much the rest of the year. So we need to start really thinking about what we're going to do as far as food is concerned. Now, part of what the ecclesia needs to do is we need to get out of these food chain issues. We need to start pulling out of Babylon and actually creating our own infrastructure for meat, for vegetables, for food in general. And we've got to figure out the logistical side too. Getting the food to people who are within a fair distance from them. So these are things that we've really got to start nailing down as the ecclesia. We cannot rely on Babylon's transportation system. We see how sensitive it is. If they bring back some kind of a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate, and then suddenly none of the truckers want to get the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh jab. We see how fragile that system is, logistics, to the point that people will actually leave a particular company, or even risk being fired for not complying, and that could cause a massive shortage in our infrastructure as far as delivery goes. So with those kind of sensitivities, we've really got to start looking at creating an infrastructure outside of Babylon, which we are doing here at the C2K Report, where we've put together Project 144, and that's something that we're definitely working on. But with that said, I just want to go to our first partner. Our first partner is exactly where we found our article. We found it on the Epic Times. The Epic Times is a partner of ours. It's the only paper that I read, and let's go to them. Are you tired of fake news and cancel culture? Me too. Stay informed and stay free by subscribing to the only paper that I read, the Epic Times. Subscribe today and get the Epic Times for just $1 the first month. Yes, that's right, just $1 the first month. And because you're a listener of the C2K Report, you'll get a discounted monthly subscription of just $77. Not the $99 that everybody else has to pay, but the $77 that you as a C2K listener get to have. So simply use the promo code C2K to enjoy the lowest rate available. Go to C2KReport.com, click on the Epic Times logo on our homepage, and it'll bring you here. Simply enter the promo code C2K to enjoy the lowest savings ever. Thank you, Epic Times, for partnering with the C2K Report. Okay, we're back, and the next article that I wanted to talk about, next piece of news, has to do with the Khazarian cult. Now, when I say Khazarian cult, I'm talking about fake. I like to call them fake Judist. I don't like the term Jew. That the term Jew in itself is kind of nonsensical. Doesn't make any sense. You could be talking about the tribe of Judah. You could be talking about Judaism. You could be talking about a lot of different factions within that particular religion. And so I like to be more specific. If we're talking about Talmudists, people who are highly devoted to the Talmud, I call them Talmudists. If they're somebody who's highly devoted to Zionism and are part of the deep state apparatus, the Khazarian cult is a good name for them. But this article kind of ponders the question: is the Khazarian cult afraid of Elon Musk? And I thought it was kind of an interesting question. Are they? I have no idea. All I know is Elon Musk, has been noted as making comments that are very friendly to the World Economic Forum. So there's that, and then there's the fact that he comes from a family that's well connected, especially within Khazarian circles. So is this a guy in Elon Musk that we can trust as the ecclesia? I don't know. It's very difficult for me to say. I don't want to. I don't want to have to trust anybody like an Elon Musk who has all this wealth and commits his wealth to different things that aren't necessarily helpful to the ecclesia. The ecclesia needs to really focus on getting our own infrastructure going, especially when we're talking about industry. This is an industry mogul. This guy's the founder of Tesla. There's lots of technology that he's responsible for. There's the satellite link. What do they call it? Satlink. I think it's what it's called. That he's responsible for. There's just so many things in this guy's closet, Elon Musk, and I'm not really sure whether he's trustworthy or not. Is he a deep state asset, or is he an asset that's been turned at some point because he has a heart? Who knows? I have no clue. I don't even want to guess. But this article brings up the question. Elon Musk has already stirred the Khazarian pot, and it seems that he is not going to be forgiven anytime soon. Musk declared, as he was on the brink of taking over Twitter, that given that Twitter serves as a de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. Well, I think Elon Musk forgets that we're not a democracy. We're a republic. And we don't really want to be a democracy. Most of our founding fathers took substantial pen space in their documents, in their different writings to one another, to actually crush the idea of democracy. Most famously, it was said that democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner, and that a republic is a well-armed lamb. So, just take that to heart. So I don't really like anybody who talks about democracy as being the key aspect of our system. When they talk about democracy, they're talking about their system. They're talking about the deep state apparatus. They're not talking about the Republican form of government that we were guaranteed constitutionally, that was usurped by our own contractual ignorance. So we, it's something more to ponder. I don't know whether we can trust Eli or not, but it's something that definitely that we will be pondering for some time. I'm going to introduce our second sponsor, our second partner, and that is QE Strong. QE Strong is a great pain patch that I like to use. I put it right here on the outside of my hand, and it helps my thumb to not, spasm and do the crazy things that it does, because I'm a meat cutter and I put a lot of pressure on that thumb. So here's QE Strong. Are you in pain? I am. I cut meat for a living, and as a meat man, I have a really sore thumb on my cutting hand. I recently went to a conference where I was introduced to a pain patch that I fell in love with. QE Strong has a line of incredible products that relieve pain. The special patches emanate a frequency that is scientifically proven to bring fast pain relief. I know it works because I use it. To get some of these patches, go to www.c2kreport.com and click on the QE Strong box on the homepage. Click on the QE Strong box on our homepage. Then click the check availability button and order a few boxes of skin patches today. Order some for yourself and order some to give away to your neighbors. Thank you, QE Strong, for partnering with the C2K Report. Okay, the other thing we wanted to talk about tonight is we want to point out some dangerous situations. So I'm going to pull something up here. Okay, this this rabbi, Dana Rutenberg. I've been following her on Twitter and other people of her ilk on Twitter for some time. And I'm always amazed at how they go right to the root of the problem. They actually facilitate so many of the problems. There is literally a movement in this country, in this world today, of women rabbis. And while I'm not opposed to women being anything that they want to be, obviously they, I'm married and I want my wife to be as successful as she can be in the areas that she's called to. So I'm not denying that this lady may be called to some type of a ministry. But when that ministry literally is counterintuitive to the scriptures, counterintuitive to even, the Torah, counterintuitive to common sense, when she's talking about reproductive health like it's some kind of health care, like it's something that's necessary, that forcing women to birth babies is a problem. This is literally the things that come out of her mouth. I start seeing a pattern. Okay. A lot of the people that she follows and a lot of people who follow her are also rabbis in this particular movement. And a lot of them call themselves priestesses. So that's something very interesting that you could look at. Google that sometime. Go onto Google and actually type in Jewish priestesses. And you're going to find that there's quite a movement of people out there within the pro-abortion community that have joined this movement. They seem to get some protection utilizing that cover of being a female or a feminist rabbi. They seek that protection because you can't call them anti-Semite, because of course they're hiding under the veil of a rabbi, so you can't say that they're anti-Semite. Yet the things that are Semitically, literally tethered to Judaism or tethered to the Torah, these people come straight out against that. I don't know how you can defend abortion through the Torah. I've read the Torah. In fact, I've read not just the Torah, but even some other books that are used within the rabbinic text, okay, within Jewry. And you could pull up a Jewish encyclopedia, and you can look these things up yourself. And I don't know how they can defend it, but they do. They use the cover of this rabbinical religious sectism, okay, in order to basically bring people to this alter ego of the Torah, which is totally like an abomination to the Lord. In fact, the Lord even calls it an abomination. So, and the thing is, let's click on her articles. I want you to see something here. This lady, she writes these articles for all these, the Washington Post, Zeke, Caveller, Tabloid Magazine, Sojourners, The Atlantic, Time Magazine, the New York Times, all of the normal, disinformation juggernauts. And look at the title of her featured articles. Parenting as a Spiritual Practice. Sounds great, right? But when you actually click into it, you start to discover that she's got kind of a sadistic mindset as far as what parenting even looks like. And, it's time to reclaim the term pro-life from anti-abortion activist. So this woman's literally trying to intimidate or grab the tag of pro-life for their pro-abortion activism purposes. They want to say they're pro-life because they support the choice in life of a woman who happens to be wanting to disregard the baby that's growing inside of her, and just evil stuff. And this is a growing thing. In fact, they really populate Twitter like you would not believe. I run into literally hundreds of these people who use the name rabbi as kind of their cover for all this sadistic stuff that they practice. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because I want you to see the patterns. There's definitely a pattern going on here with people. These ladies of the, do you call them of the cloth? Do you say of the cloth? No, that's kind of a Roman Catholic term. But they literally hide behind the veneer of being a rabbi, and maybe culturally, maybe they are a rabbi. Maybe they've actually done the schooling in order to become a rabbi in that particular culture. But definitely the thoughts, the intent of their heart is sadistic at best. And we need to be aware of these people because I think a lot of times we give people the benefit of the doubt who wear a religious name. We call them priest, we call them rabbi, we call them pastor, we call them minister, we call them so many things. And we kind of give them a pink slip, to get by when they say things. It's time to stop that. The ecclesia has got to stand up. We are the called out assembly. We are a government. Why are we a government? Because literally that's the purpose of the ecclesia. All power was given to Christ in heaven and in earth. All. All means all. Not some, not almost everything, but everything. Okay? And we're supposed to be we've been called to build upon that government. All of us have. Every single one of us have been separated out to some function within that government, and if for whatever reason we just we keep prospering Babylon, and it's time for us to stop doing that. Stop prospering Babylon. Stop benefiting Babylon while we're doing this work for the Lord, because that's kind of sad. We do this great work for the Lord, and Babylon gets a benefit from that. We've got to remove ourselves away from giving any kind of benefit to Babylon. We need to make sure that benefit goes to the Lord, because it's a tithe. It's a tax that's actually a tribute to the Lord, and should be part of our first fruits, which Babylon loves to steal from us. They call it withholding, but it's the first fruits. So just wanted to bring that out, make you aware of it, bring it to your attention. Find some of these people on Twitter or on your favorite social media, and just stay in the background and follow them and see what they're saying, because you're going to be surprised. And you're going to be surprised how many people they have in their networks that are ready at the drop of a hat to come and protest something that they believe is wrong. But, yeah, guys, I want to introduce you to our third sponsor, and that is the Zelenko Protocol, Z-Stack. With all the craziness going on in the world, Z-Stack is something you're probably going to want to get. We are living in times of Babylonian desperation, and no one knows what pestilence will be released next. But it's not a time to fear. God's healers are stepping up to the plate all over the earth. There is no better example than Dr. Zelenko's protocol. Dr. Zelenko's Z-Stack is proven to maintain your immune system and keep it resilient and resistant. Go to C2KReport.com and click the Z-Stack logo to join the thousands of people building a resilient and resistant immune system. Save 5% by entering coupon code C2K at checkout. Thank you, Dr. Zelenko, for partnering with C2K. Okay, so I appreciate you guys coming by and listening to C2K News. We're still kind of trying to get our act together. I want to get a better process going here to make this cleaner, less uhs and ums and that kind of stuff. So want to, bring my daughter back on and have actual conversation going on between people. So if you want to be on the C2K News, if you're interested in being on the C2K News to bounce things off of, let me know. Give me a quick pitch on info@c2kreport.com, and maybe you will find yourself on C2K News. But for now, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.